Over to you, Andrew. You take it from here, and then we'll end up for our last wrap up for the session. So it's all over to you, Andrew.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Okay. I'll just take you guys through. This is a nice and little neat one of our apps, which is free, called Zoho Notebook, which is you can have it on your computer and on your phone, and you can go and you can make notes on many different things. Let's quickly just go into my note to get the presentation. And also my presentations were built on Zoho Show, which is Zoho's version of PowerPoint, and you can make these neat little public links that will take you straight to your presentation, so you don't need to run around with flash drives to give your presentation. Another great thing about this is you can present to your sellers by building a really nice presentation of their home on Zoho Show, and you can just send them the link, or you can use the presentation to present to them on a video call like this. All right, so I'm going to be talking about, okay, there's a poll that's just popped up. What technology do you use to store and interact with your clients? So do you use a paper diary and email, an SMS, or do you use spreadsheets? You use Prop Control, which is Prop24's kind of management system. Then there's also Prop Data, Integral Base, Pay Prop for the rental managers. I know also there is, I think, Rent Bay by TPN. Then other technology providers like Salesforce, HubSpot, and then obviously Zoho. And if there is other, please put that in the chat so we can see what other technologies you're using to communicate with your customers. All right. I'm going to talk about digitization and the future survival for estate agencies. So let's kick it off. All right. So the term that's been thrown around quite a bit is digital transformation. And just to give a brief description, is the digital transformation is the constant improvement of your technology systems to improve the efficiency of your business and also the customer experience and your employees' experience. Some digitization examples. So you can move from using a spreadsheet to hold your customer information. I know if we go even further back, 10 years ago when I was in real estate, we had the buyer information sheet, and at the show houses we'd have a whole printout of paper stacks with these information sheets, and we would ask every person and we'd write the information on that sheet. Then we would go back to the office and have to put it into Excel. So we can see we've come a long way in the last 10 years. But to move from spreadsheets to a CRM where you've got it on your app, you can log your phone calls, you can send your automated emails, and so forth. Then to also move away from paper forms to digital forms. I know that when we first implemented a few years ago the online tenant application form, so many tenants came back and said, oh my goodness, that is so much easier than having to print out the application form and fill it out, or for them to even have to use like a PDF builder and try and fill it out. It was easy. They just went on their phones or on their computers, they filled in all their information, they literally took photos of all their documentation and they clicked submit, and it came straight into our CRM, and we were able to do then the tenant application process, which was also great because in the CRM we can have a stage-by-stage approval process where we go through all the stages needed to approve a tenant, and even recording what the tenant references say on the phone call. So very powerful solution. And then to move from written signatures to digital signatures, and things that don't necessarily need to be written, like your mandates, get that done with the digital signature app. It's so much quicker and easier. You don't have to go and drive to the seller again to go and sign it if you didn't do it right then and there where you did your valuation presentation. You can get it done nice, quick and easy, and everything is saved in your system. Then you can even go a step further. You can have an online form where the person fills out all your information, and then it sends that information into a digital signature app to send for digital signature. So there's a lot of very powerful ways you can digitize your business. Then contact us form. Okay, so that is a standard on all websites, is a contact us form. But the new generation of customer and even the connected society, which we're currently seeing, they want something more than just a contact us. They're looking for a live chat where they can go onto your website, they can click on the live chat, and they can quickly fill in the information and it will come through to you. If you're not online, it doesn't matter. It's going to say, sorry, we don't have agents online, but we'll get back to you as soon as possible. But at least you've got all their contact information. I know with our live chat, you can even phone the person while they're on your website. You just click the phone button. And if you're chatting to them, they can even audio call you through the website. So really good features there. And then you can go a step further to have a contact us form, a live chat, and then a chat bot. You'll see this chat bot here is from the travel industry, and they're using it to ask, what type of trip is it? It's a family trip. How many people? I mean, you could use this to qualify your buyers. What are you looking for? How many, how many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? Locations? You can have that with the chatbot. So lots of things to be done in the future, and it will distinguish you from your competitors because the potential customer is going to go onto a few websites, and the one that they can engage with the quickest and easiest is the one that's really going to win their business. All right, so your digital transformation strategy. What do you want to achieve? You want to achieve increased productivity. You also want to improve your business processes, make them more efficient. You want a really good customer experience. Now, I'll explain exactly what customer experience is. And then you also want a good employee experience. You don't want your staff to get frustrated with the technology and they're like, this is actually making my life harder. You want it to be easy for them. And to go with that, you need to train them on the tech systems so they don't get frustrated. Here again, talk about the connected ecosystem. Like with the digital business cards, you can also have those integrated into your email signature, and you can have that go out of the CRM. And also these virtual tours, you can also have those integrated into the CRM so that those links for your properties, the links are sitting in your CRM so that you can easily just send off an email that has the virtual tour to your client. And you can also integrate it into a WhatsApp message. So lots of powerful things that can be done, but you want to try and limit the highly technical integrations where you have to go and pay like a third party to build a middleware. All right. The things to do is to map your business processes. Here's a quick example, and we can actually change it for the real estate industry. Before, a tenant application form, or still today, people had to print it out. They had to then go and fill it in. They had to get all their documents together, and sometimes, they would scan their bank statements, and sometimes be upside down, or you'd get a scanned document of like 20 megabytes where they've thrown it all into one document. Also, maybe it wasn't legible and you couldn't really see because the scanner was terrible, and then it came in, and then you had to get the agent to now go and do the credit checks and this and that. And it was just a very, time-consuming process, whereas you can digitize it by having an online tenant application form where they fill in, they have the attachments. I see a poll's just popped up. So you guys can go ahead and answer that. Which stage in your lead management journey? All right, so just talking about how just to make your business processes more efficient. So yes, an online tenant application form where they fill everything in, it comes all into your CRM, it notifies staff members that has now come in. The staff member can go in and they can go through the approval process, and it can be done in a blueprint. Zoho CRM is a blueprint where it says, okay, first of all, you need to check that the salary slip and the salary amount is on the bank statement, and it goes off on the exact same date that it says on the pay slip. So you can do that one check, and then you need to do the reference phone calls, and you want to find out what is the relation to the potential tenant, and would they be comfortable renting their property to the person. So you need to have those certain things in a blueprint so that your staff can quickly and easily just move through a process, and then automatic like approvals. Then it can send back and say, your application's been approved. One thing to note about tenant applications is you want to make sure the landlord approves them before you tell the tenant that they've been approved. So so it's good to have that in your process flow. Okay, next, map your customer's journey from awareness where they find out about your company. You know, be on social media, have social media posts. I know Zoho Social is ranked with one of the top social media management posts in the world. We've used it. We use it all the time, and it works incredibly well, to the point where it will track the engagement with your posts. And the next time you want to schedule a post, it will use artificial intelligence to tell you the best time to schedule the posts. So very good. And then Google My Business is also important. You need to make sure that you're posting to Google My Business and that you have your Google My Business listing. So when people are looking for an estate agent, they'll go and they'll search estate agent on Google. Google's going to push the My Business listings that have the most content. So definitely use that type of advertising. Then we've got lead capture. Is it a digital form? Is it a website live chat? Lead qualification. Is it questions on the CRM that you're going to do over the phone? Is it an online form? You can also generate like a Zoho survey where you can actually phone the person and fill out the survey for them. And then lead nurturing, you know, follow-up reminders. You know, when a lead comes in, you have a tick box where you can click every time you try and phone them. And after 4 phone call attempts and you can't get hold of the person, then you can move it to junk status for that lead. So you can filter through the leads that are most important. Then communication, email, phone, WhatsApp, have it all built into your system and be able to communicate easily and quickly with people. Contracts, use digital signatures. If you're going to send out quotations or invoices, have a customer portal where they can go in. Have an online payment gateway. Zoho Books, which is our finance package, has now just recently got a payment integration with a local South African payment gateway, and it will be live to the public in the next few days. So all these things are very important, where you can get people, make it more efficient for people to pay you to you know, do business with your company. Then surveys, you know, ask for a happiness rating. You need to find out whether your staff are helping customers. You know, I know for sales staff, you can use KPIs where it's a quantitative metric, but you want more qualitative metrics. And the only way to get that is to get surveys of happiness ratings, you know, to see, you know, are your staff giving your customers a good service? And if they're not happy, then they can actually rate you. Retention, use a support desk where you can support customers and they can log tickets. I know Zoho Desk, which is the Zoho support desk application. We use it extensively for rentals where the tenants need to, you know, log support tickets, and you have to deal with all the service providers. And then you can also send service reminders or valuation reminders. I know in the CRM, the valuation module has a button where you can actually select to send the person a reminder in a year, and it says, hey, you know, we did a valuation for you a year ago, would you like an updated valuation? It actually puts in the valuation into the email and puts in the exact date that the valuation was done. And that prompts a lot of people to respond and say, oh, no, my value is more now. Can I see? You know, so really lots of powerful things that can be done. And then advocacy. So you want to build loyalty and advocacy with your customers, or anyone. It could be a sphere of influence who doesn't even own a property, but you want them to feel that they've got a relationship with you and your business, so that they promote you to other people. So you can send them a happy birthday message with like a discount code, or you can just send them a happy birthday message saying that you can do a free valuation, or find something that you can give them, maybe a coffee voucher or something, you know, a purchase anniversary, you know, anniversary of purchasing a home, things like that. Then I'm going to go through this quickly because I'm mindful of time. The employee journey. You also want to map your employee's journey, and it's important to have really good technology that's customer-centric. They can access information about the customer, give them quick response templates so they can easily just chat to the person. Mobile apps, obviously, for staff that are in the field, like agents. Automatic customer surveys, satisfaction surveys, and then online training. You need to give your staff videos of how to use the technology, especially when a new staff member joins. It's so much easier to just send them a link to a video. Or I know in Zoho People, our HR management, we've got an LMS, which is a learning management system where you can actually document courses that staff can go on and also go back to and see exactly how things need to be done. Then for your implementation planning, I will put a link in the chat at the end. I can send you this sheet. This is built on Zoho Sheet, and you're welcome to use it. It's free. And you can go and actually document your digitization plan. What are you going to digitize first, second, third, and use the priority ranking on the left to sort it, because you can't do everything at once. It's very difficult and you might be very overwhelmed. So rank it, prioritize it, and slowly implement the changes. Okay, and then here's just an example of a stage planning. You know, stage one could be you've got your website, you've got your workplace suite, because we've got, you know, like Zoho Workplace, which is your email, your file management, your business chat, your word processor, spreadsheets, presentations, and online meetings. Then you can move to getting the CRM, the finance applications, the online forms, digital signature app, project management app. Then you can move to getting the social media management implemented, email campaigns, SMS campaigns, WhatsApp for business integration, and then support desk, live chat, learning management system, and surveys. So that's just an idea of an example of how you can do it in stages. Then how to get staff to change. This can be very difficult, especially if you've got some staff that are very valuable and they don't like to change. The best way of doing it is to get your key staff members that are, you know, influential, get them to test the technology, make sure it's going to work for the business first and foremost, and then also explain to them the benefits it's going to have for the company. You know, be mindful that staff have comfort zones, they've got habits, they like the way that they do things, but you need to explain to them the long-term benefits and motivate to them, those key staff members. A new technology might take some time to get used to, but will benefit the business in maybe reducing expenses or improving your business process efficiencies. So it might take some time, but eventually it will be better for the business. So you just need to show those key staff members. And then most people at the bottom there, most people don't like change. So it's best to first get buy-in from your influential staff before opening up the discussion to other staff, and then get those influential staff to motivate the change. Okay. How to survive and thrive into the future. All right, I think we've got a poll questions just pop up there. If you guys can quickly just answer that. What technology system do you use to load your adverts? Prop Control, Prop Data, Integral, Fusion. And if there's anything other, please put it in the chat section. So how you would list your adverts on like Property24, Private Property, and those platforms, if you've got a syndication technology. Okay. Moving on, how to survive and thrive into the future. Okay, ask these questions. How will we continuously be better than the competition? You need to look at how you can improve and be better, and how customers can easily, you know, interact with your staff and be more efficient in contacting and nurturing leads, and as soon as someone needs assistance, you know, reaching out to them. What your current customers expect. Expectations are huge. I know, especially real estate, you know, you'll sign up for someone and you'll sign up like an open mandate with a customer, and then they will, you know, unless you tell them exactly what you're going to give them, they're going to expect the world from you. You know, so they're going to want daily updates of feedback. They're going to want you to send in a film crew, you know. So it's good to manage expectations and you know, say to people, this is what we're going to give you. And then ask them, what do they expect, you know, and find out, you know, open up the conversation. It really will help your business. Then what will your future customers expect? That's just about research, and I'll go through that. And then how will you keep your great staff? A lot of that's to do with, you know, training and giving them the right tools to let them work efficiently. And then how to continuously generate new business. Now that's quite an exciting one I'll go through now. Okay, so how will we continuously be better than the competition? So continuous improvement culture, you need to build that culture within the business. And it's important to appoint a culture captain. It can be anyone in your company, someone that's usually influential, someone that's got a really good character, lively character, someone that everyone likes and really looks up to. Appoint them the culture captain and put down points. Like what culture do we want to instill in our company? You know, we want to be everyone to constantly look at how we can improve things. If something goes wrong, it's not about blaming everyone. It's like, how can we now put something in place to be better? And that will never, and so that never happens again. Then have frequent strategy meetings with those key staff. Have a monthly strat session. Put it in your diary. Book it every first Thursday or whatever of the month. And then have a continuous improvement plan. So prioritize what's the important improvements to go through, and then delegate people to be captains of that or to be in charge of that improvement. I know we use you can have a working document like a spreadsheet, but we use something that's really easily accessible on the mobile app, which is Zoho Connect, which is a collaboration and business intranet, where you can literally go in and put it on a task board. And we've got the task boards where you can drag the different tasks to different things. You can put in website links. You can really customize it. And we put in all our business improvement topics, and then we discuss them at our monthly meetings. Then what do our current customers expect? The Generation C is the connected society. They want great customer service. They want to be interacting with their mobile device. They want efficiency, consistency across all the different departments. And then they want 24/7 availability, whether it's placing an order on an online shop or being able to fill in an online application form, or, they want to be able to access 24/7. And these all form part of your customer experience. Research that was done by PwC in 2019, a bad experience is driving customers away fast. 32% of consumers said that they will walk away from a brand they love just after one bad experience. Okay, so customer experience is vitally important, and there's a difference. Your customer experience is not customer service. Okay, customer experience is your relationship with the customer. Customer service is reactive. So, if something goes wrong, the customer comes to you and says, oh, then you react. Whereas a customer experience is where you're proactive and you're continuously putting things in place to make sure things don't go wrong. And even better, you make the person really wowed by the fact you exceed the expectations. So I've said there, customer service, which is CS, is expected. Customer experience, which is CX, is how you exceed customer expectations. And to do it effectively and efficiently, you would need a CRM system. I'll give you two different examples. So this is an example. Customer calls into the office and says, hello, I forgot my car needs a service. Please, can you book it in as soon as possible? We could change this up. We could say, oh, sorry, I see that the municipal valuations have come up and I haven't objected. Whereas a proactive approach, customer experience, would be, oh, I'm so happy you sent me an SMS reminder for my car service, or SMS reminder that I need to maybe challenge my municipal valuation. I would have completely forgot. You guys are the best. Oh, and by the way, thank you so much for my happy birthday email. I'd like to use the free wheel alignment voucher you sent me. I suppose in real estate, you could say the free coffee voucher, or they would just thank you for just thinking of them being a bit more proactive and exceeding their expectations. So you really need to look at that into the future. That will distinguish you from your competitors. Then you can use a customer expectations survey. We've got a template on Zoho Survey. I can also put the link in for you. And ask them, what do you expect? What do you expect from our service? And you might find some of your customers might have really, really good ideas. Some of them might joke and say, hey, buy me a Ferrari. But you need to find out, what could you do better and how could you exceed their expectations? Then I've done some research on the future generation. So it says here that the Generation Z is going to be the most powerful. It's going to have the biggest buying power in the future. And this generation also influences their parents' spendings. So in the next year, they will account for 40% of all US consumers. So to succeed, companies need to know how to tailor a great customer experience for the Gen Z. Okay, I've done the research for you. Gen Z, they want mobile first. They want to be able to access anything and everything on the mobile. Okay, they want quick access on the go. They want a personalized service. They want a real customer relationship. And that's why technology will never be able to replace the human touch, and especially estate agents. They want that personal relationship. Okay. Video, Gen Z responds well to visual content. So the virtual tours, the videos, very, very important. And then trust. They care about trust and authenticity. So if you can convey the fact that they can trust you, you're going to really, really do well into the future. And then efficiency, that, you know, they've got a very, very short attention span. I know that the millennials attention span is 12 seconds. Gen Z is 8 seconds. So if you're putting out any type of marketing or any type of video, you better grab their attention in those first 8 seconds. Otherwise, they're not going to continue watching or looking at whatever you're trying to advertise. All right, how do you keep great staff? Great tool set. Technology-wise, provide your staff with the tools, whether it be reminders, call scripts, blueprints, checklists, you know, help them to work really fast and efficiently and give a good service. A customer-centric technology solution so they can easily see exactly what's happening with the customer and a customer phones them or messages them. And then training videos, have a learning management system with easy access to training videos, give them recognition, you know, give them achievements, show them contributions. I know the CRM has a gaming mode where you can actually give people badges. Let's say if you can count how many valuations an agent does, and for each valuation, they'll you know, if they get like 5 valuations, they get a badge. Or you can have King of Valuations, where it will now put a leaderboard of who's done the most valuations in a month or in a quarter. So definitely, you really need to give them recognition and put those gamification things in place. Manage expectations. Ask them, what do they expect? Do they want flexi hours? I know with agents, it's always flexi hours, but you know, do they want to work from home? You can totally save on all those parking bays outside the office, or, you know, even the desk space. I've seen many agencies, especially the new ones, come out where there is no office. You know, it's work from home. All right, so the employee experience is important because companies that provide a great employee experience are 25% more profitable than companies that don't. How do you create promoting customers? Now, before I show you this, I'm going to show you just some results of a customer experience survey. If you give customers a great experience, they will buy more, they will be more loyal, and they will share with their friends the positive experience. And they'll be more willing to give you a testimonial or a review. So now let's get to this promoting customer. So your standard customer is someone that just gets normal customer service, but your promoting customer is you're going to get them from giving a really good customer experience. Okay, so just to take you through the timeline, a new customer will get introduced to your company by a promoting customer. Okay, it might be word of mouth, social media recommendation, or they might see a customer testimonial video or something on your social media. But I know a lot of people, you know, will go onto Facebook and say, oh, who knows a really good estate agent? And you really want that person to go far and beyond just putting in your name in the comments. And you'll see further down here. So a repeat customer will be someone that just comes back because you gave them a good first time experience. A loyal customer will become loyal because of continued great experience and continuous improvement, you know, to see that you're continuously improving your customer experience. And then a promoting customer, they will promote your company to others based on their experience and will continue their loyalty if it's acknowledged and shown appreciation. Now, these promoting customers are the ones that when someone puts on Facebook, oh, who knows an estate agent, they are not going to just comment. They're going to phone the person. They're going to direct private message and say, no, you have to use this person. They're amazing. You must actually go on their database. They'll send you like a coffee voucher for your birthday. Like, they sold my property. You want the person to go far and beyond, just popping in your name in the comments. There was research done, influencers versus your customer testimonials. 17% of surveyed respondents bought because of a celebrity endorsement, and 35% bought because of positive reviews and testimonials on social media. So it's all about getting testimonials. And so if you give your customers really good experience, they will be willing to do that. And then other research showing that the most influential type of advertising is TV ads, and the millennial respondents preferred social media and something that allows them to interact with the brand. So you need to think live chat, live stream, video testimonials. That's the advertising kind of going into the future. And then a final thought, the Kaizen philosophy. Kaizen is a Japanese term meaning change for better or continuous improvement. And it's really important to instill that in your culture. And I know when I did have a physical office, we had this up on the wall, and it was just to remind everyone that we're continuously improving. All right, and then lastly, just to explain briefly the different Zoho package deals and apps. So Zoho has a large package deal called Zoho One, which is more than 45 applications. I think it's close to 60 now that are in that bundle. Basically, you pay an all-employee price where you pay per employee, excluding your blue-collar workers, or you can do a per user. But the all-employee price is highly discounted. You know, it's 525 Rand ex VAT per employee per month, and you're getting like all the applications. You know, literally you get the word processor, the email, you get the online storage, the CRM, the desk, the live chat. You get everything, digital signatures, project management, the works, you know, for 525. What is that? That's 603 Rand, including VAT per employee per month. And the nice thing is Zoho is always improving, adding new apps. I know we've got a new app coming out soon called Zoho Landing Page. So all you guys that like putting out those landing pages for your developments, you'll be able to build those nicely and your leads will come straight into the CRM. Then we've got other small little package deals called CRM Plus, Workplace. Workplace is just your, you know, your normal tools, and then we've got individual applications. But quickly, just to keep moving, this is just a list of the different apps, but I can also put that in a link in the chat. So yeah, that is it. I hope I haven't gone too much over time, but thank you very much.
No, thank you very much, Andrew. Thanks very much. I think it's very impressive. Question over here, and I think it's a very, very good question from Eddie. And he's asked the question and he's a commercial property broker. And he says, due to the sentiment that many brokers have not extensively embraced technology and digital tools to their detriment, I ask, what study has been done to establish the LSM age group demographic who are currently investing, and to what degree these investors are depending on technology to source their investment portfolio options? I think it's a great question. And I don't think there's a straight answer there. If I can just maybe come out the box there, is that most of the information that comes from individual sellers of property themselves. And I'll take these different platforms. I know of various platforms here, both here in South Africa and offshore, where people have, without actually seeing the property, just going online, they invested over $1 million. So that has happened. In terms of what those exact stats are and who those people are, I don't think that information is available. Although we can clarify both from Property 24 and from the likes of private property that access to online properties before they buy them has grown significantly. So people viewing virtual showrooms, people viewing websites like portals and like the likes of Property 24, that's gone up to around about 80% before they actually buy the property. So Andrew, I just want to get your view on that. Do you have any sort of data stats on that particular, you know, in terms of demographics of who is actually currently investing to what degree? I don't think there's anything which is standard out there at the moment. We just know that there's been an increase.
Yeah, so it's very difficult. I mean, I know he mentioned, you know, based on investments, to make investment decisions. I don't know whether he was talking about commercial property investments or just technology investments. But if we look at the commercial property investments, a lot of the information is hard to get out of these companies like, let's say, Property 24, who like to really hold on to all the information. You know, I know that, you know, the Institute's doing really well with the, and it's just now, I've lost it now, with all the statistics of all the different sales that have gone on in a certain area. But one way that the technology can help, especially with investments, is you can have, let's say, the simple calculation of what the investment return is, you know, and have investors that are looking to buy property have that as a trigger. Because I know a lot of investors say, I won't actually invest unless I'm getting like an 8% return, net return. But I don't know if that answers the exact question, whether that was aimed at tech investment or was it aimed at using tech.
No, I think it's property.
property investors. Yeah, so I mean,
so I think, yeah. Mm.
Using the calculations, I think agents can use technology to make those quick calculations, and it can trigger which investors would be interested in that development. I know we've done it where we've used that simple net return calculation that pushes out, you know, what type of return someone will get on that property, taking into consideration the rental income and then the expenses with that property.
Okay. Yeah, look, and I think, I think really, I can see where the question is going. We're really trying to test, should I buy online or should I deal with an agent? And I think it's going to be, you're always going to deal with both. There's going to be at some stage, there are some investors that have not consulted a person, that have given their money over, they've done the investment and they walked away and said, fine, I trust this technology. So I think it's sort of aimed with that sort of question in mind. But Annette, just coming to you, the research that Andrew was talking about, tell us a little bit about your prop stats that you've got, any sort of updates on that?
Yes, well, what we're doing is at the moment, PropStats is a Western Cape driven. It's been piloted in the Western Cape for a number of years. So we're working on the development of taking it nationally. But for those who are not familiar with it, it's an online, it's managed by the Institute of Estate Agents, and it's for residential properties. So what we do is we'll allow the agencies, usually it's the conveyancing assistant within their office, to capture the information. And what makes it remarkable is that the information is captured once the conditions have been fulfilled. So it doesn't wait for deeds office information. And it contains the information, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, how much it was on the market for, the highest first listing price, and then how long it was on the market for, and where the leads were from and where the buyers from. So it does give you more information that you're going to get from a usual, database once the title deeds have registered. Obviously, that's going to take 3-4 months. And I often get asked the question, yes, but it's not guaranteed. I say, well, no, it isn't guaranteed, but the conditions have all been fulfilled. So the chances of it falling through are slight, very slight. It does happen, but very, very, very negligible in number. So yes, it's actually incredible from that perspective, and we hope to take it out nationally. Maybe we can keep in touch with you guys to assist us with that process.
Great stuff. Thanks, Annette. So Rikus, just over to you. It's related to that last question from Edward, and it's related to, have you seen a bigger uptake in the usage of VPEX 360? So in other words, all the virtual reality software and that kind of. So maybe you've got some data that you could possibly share with us.
We have actually, Neil, yes, especially in the commercial space, has been a big uptake now, due to the COVID, and obviously you can't view properties, as easy as you would have a while ago. And with the software, the 360 virtual tours, it allows a person to be, if the building is in Cape Town, whether he's in Joburg or in New York, to view the property, but get a lot more, a much in-depth experience, than a photo, a little one-dimensional, photo of the room or the surrounding, whereas with the virtual property, tours, the 360s, you really get to experience, it puts you right in the middle of, the room in the building or the room in the house. So there is definitely some data. I'm sorry, I could probably send you some more analytical data. But we personally, have had a big increase in doing work for commercial property companies, renting out buildings and that.
Okay, excellent. I just got a reply here from Eddie on this one, and he said it's got to do with property investments. 95% of my potential investors prefer to mail or call me directly. And I think what happens is we find that people are doing the search first, And then thereafter, if they want to close the deal, they need to talk to an agent. And I think that's not going to disappear in a hurry. Okay, so there's a lot of questions here, Andrew.
Sorry,
just
Neil,
from your side.
can I just jump in there just with regard to Edward? So Edward, I hear exactly what you're saying. What we've seen now is the technology is actually helping the brokers and the agents manage more investors. And you might have an investor that doesn't necessarily reach out to you. Maybe they're not really, they're kind of on the fence about investing. And it's only when you reach out to them that they might actually show interest. And I know, for instance, I think last year, June, we sent out an email just to our investors, and we had one person for buying property in Switzerland. And the one person that was really not engaging with us much responded and said, oh yeah, I love Switzerland. And they ended up buying in the Swiss Alps. So it allows you to manage all those investors and keep in touch with them. I think that's important. Whether you then can communicate with them on email and phone, that's perfect, but it's for the broker and agent side.
Okay, excellent. Okay, there's a lot of product-related questions, and what I'm going to suggest to the audience, if they want to get specific information from Rikus or specific information on Andrew, which is all product-related, because it's mainly, there's no sort of general questions, which I was hoping to sort of get. Then I'm going to suggest, Andrew, if they can engage one-on-one. But there is a question. There's one guy who's looking for a deal over here, Andrew. And he says, how can a Lone Ranger use your elaborate system without having to pay the full subscription? Is there not a limited option available for guys like me, Louis?
Yeah. Okay. Well, Louis, this is the really thing. This is a big thing that a lot of people that, like, whenever I told them about it, they're like, are you sure that's real? So Zoho has two different types of pricing for Zoho One. And we've got many one-person, two-person businesses buying this because it has a per user price, okay, for this package deal of 50 plus apps, but it has also an all-employee price. So if you're a single person or an independent contractor, you paying for one employee, and that price is 603 Rand, including that, per month. And you're getting access to all the applications. And even if you're using like 3 of the apps, you would usually be paying in excess of 600 Rand, 3 of the top applications. So, I mean, you pay 603 Rand, you get the social media management, you get the email, I'm not going to go through all of it, but it's a lot. And I know specifically in the one real estate business, they use 20 of the apps. So that all employee pricing for Zoho One is really good, but we also have free versions and we've also got scale versions. So we've got versions with limited functionality that you can go and look at on our website.
Okay, so you've also got the 2,000 Rand voucher option as well, which is just for today's live attendees as well, which they get access to 50 applications, 3 months. Is that correct, Andrew? And how do people get that?
Yeah, so I've put a link in the chat box where you can just click on it and it will actually take you to a published writer document with all the information. And so you can use that to purchase any of the apps. But if you're a single employee and, it's 600 Rand, you can have it for 3 months.
Great stuff. It's probably the best 600 Rand you could spend in the future. So Rikus, you've also got the Black Friday special. I mean, you've given us a 50% off, literally. It's for 8,000 Rand. So you've given, do you want to maybe just share that just so that everybody knows?
Yeah, so it's, our normal subscription pricing is $80 a month for the card, or if a person, chooses to just do an once-off annual payment, it's 800. So you basically get 2 months for free. But for now, 50% of that. So a 400 Rand, once-off payment, you literally can't even, print business cards for that, anymore. I mean, you'll get maybe 200 business cards, we send it out as an email, to all the panelists right after. And if they want to act on that, they can just, there'll just be my contact details will be in there, and our data sheet I'll put in there. So the data sheet is basically just what we use to collect the information. You know, we do use the Zoho system. We use the Zoho forms for that. And that allows us to collect the information, you know, what to put on the card. Or they can contact me directly or anything, and then, you know, we'll do the build and help them through the next few steps.
Great stuff.
I'll just put my card again.
So I'm just gonna.
That's also just my card again in the chat box.
Great, thanks very much, Rikus. I just want to get closing, just a minute closing parting shots. First of all, from you, Annette. You know, people that have engaged with the Institute, maybe give us a lovely success story of somebody, or, you know, why we should make the big move to IASA. And so maybe you just want to finish off with something that people could take away.
I think that essentially the few things that I can mention is that we obviously help a lot of the agents with any queries that they have. I've just resolved someone getting a result from an exam that they've been waiting 3 years to get the results from the EAB. Wow. And they contacted me last week. And it took me, well, not last week, 2 weeks to get the results. So wow. That's a sort of a feel-good story, because that was a very frustrating few years for them. And also we are allowing people to network like we are now with a great network of community of experts. I think that is very much what the Institute is about, connecting people and being the hub for real estate. So you don't, as I always say, you can't see round corners, and you join up and you belong, and suddenly we're opening doors. And exactly what Andrew was saying, you don't know, somebody may not be interested in something, and then you connect people and suddenly they've opened a huge opportunity. So I think that's really what it's all about at the moment. And being stronger together, that is really what it's all about. Thank you. Thank you to everybody.
No, thank you, Annette. Wonderful having you today, and thank you very much. And Rick, is this your parting shots there?
Yes, Neil, thanks again for allowing us to be in and chatting to the estate agents. In a nutshell, what we do is we offer a vehicle for your product. So it's a way to get your product, your expertise in the hands of all your clients, you know, potential new clients and old clients. So if you're looking for a good, effective, cost-effective way to do this, you know, that's where the business cards or the digital portfolios can help you a lot. And, you know, get access to, you know, all the extra stuff, you know, with the chatbots and the virtual tours, the digitizing of paperwork, you know, building in all the extra systems and putting it all in a nice, neat little package in the palm of the hands of your client.
Wonderful. That's a nice way to end off there. Rikus, thank you very much for your participation today. And last but not least, Andrew, if you could give us your parting shots. And you got in a very powerful position. You've got a great product, and I think you've managed to convince quite a lot of people that it's a great system. Certainly, I mean, we use the system. I know Rikus uses the system. We just got to get Annette to use the system, and everybody else to use the system. So it's over to you, Andrew.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, we've had massive growth. Obviously, lockdown helped, you know, but we have had massive growth in the last 60 days with South African companies specifically moving on to Zoho, and specifically Zoho One. So if you look at the long-term cost of technology, the costs can rack up if you're using, you know, bits and pieces here and there and plugging them in. We've even had one company that was spending 68,000 Rand a month on their technology. With Zoho One, it came down to 29,000 Rand a month. So it's huge savings. Wonderful. So it's just a case of putting it into your budget, planning for it, because it's going to be something you're going to need into the future. And like I said, you can manage more people, and you never know. You might pop a real personalized email to someone wishing them happy birthday, or just asking if they're interested in investing in commercial property in Durban, and they come back and go, "Oh yeah, I am." And that's something you maybe would not have been able to access. So
great, sir. Well, Andrew, thank you very much, I think, for your keynote today and the sponsorship and everything for this particular event today. I think your contribution has been valuable. And to our audience, thank you for being very patient and joining us today. And we hope that you enjoyed it and certainly got value from this masterclass. As I said, any unanswered questions will be published on the REI platform, REMAG platform, or on our Digimag Ask the Expert section. That's on the generic ones. So that brings us to the end of our final 2020 Estate Agent PropTech Virtual Masterclass. We're planning on bringing these kind of events to you more regularly in 2021 in this format, and from end of 2021, January. So please watch this space. Our next PropTech event, and that's going to be our big digitalization event summit, which will be in March 2021, will be a combined virtual and live event. So it's going to be a hybrid event. We'd like to see you be over there as well. And we broaden it much to commercial and to residential property, plus the latest PropTech that's happening out there. And yes, so I'd like to end off this with an inspirational quote from Venus Williams, who said, "In life, there is no such thing as impossible. It always is possible." So once again, thank you all for joining us again today. This is Neil Peterson of Real Estate Investor, the virtual masterclass, signing out. Stay safe and successful investing.